Good day everyone. My name is Salik and I am the first reporter of Group 4. So today we will going to discuss about the topic demand, supply and equilibrium in markets for goods and services. But before that, let me give our overview and learning outcomes about this topic. So demand for goods and services. So the overview of this topic. In this chapter, we will learn about the demand, supply, and equilibrium in markets for goods and services, shifts in demand and supply for goods and services, and changes in equilibrium price and quantity. The four-step process price ceiling. The economic model of the demand and supply, one of the most powerful models in all of economics. The discussion here begins by examining how demand and supply determine the price and the quantity sold in markets for goods and quantities. So, we have these learning outcomes that expected to learn after this discussion. So, at the end of this lesson, the students can A. Explore the demand, quantity demanded, and the law of demand. B. Identify demand curve and supply curve. And C. Discuss supply quantity supplied and the law of supply. Letter D. Elaborate equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. And letter E. Make a graph on equilibrium, quantity supply, and quantity demand. So let us now proceed to the demand for goods and services. Economists use the term demand to refer to the amount of some good or services consumers are willing and able to purchase at each price. Demand is fundamentally based on needs and wants. Demand is also based on ability to pay. What a buyer pays for a unit of the specific good or services is called price. The total number of units that consumers would purchase at that price is called quantity demand. So here are some key theories related to demand in economics. Number 1, the law of demand. When we say the law of demand, is a fundamental principle in economics that describes the inverse relationship between the price of a product or service and the quantity demanded by consumers. Especially as a price rise, demand typically decreases while low prices tend to increase demand. For instance, example, the demand for a chocolate muffin would decrease if the price of the muffin increases. Consumer might not attach as much value to purchasing a chocolate muffins as the price goes up. They can also turn to substitute goods and services to chocolates, croissants, or banana muffins. The demand schedule shows that the price rises, quantity demanded decreases, and vice versa. These points are then graphed, and the line connecting them is the demand curve. The downward slope of the demand curve again illustrates the law of demand, the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. So number 3, the income effect. When we say the income effect, it refers to how a consumer's demand for different products changes as their net income increases or decreases within any given amount of time. Also, the income effect describes how an increase in income can change the quantity or goods that consumers will demand. The income effect says that after the price decline, the consumer could purchase the same goods as before and still have money left over to purchase more. For both reasons, a decrease in price causes an increase in quantity demand. For instance, if the price of bread decreases, consumer may buy more bread because they can afford to buy more with the same budget, or they may use their increased purchasing power to buy other goods like milk or goods. So now let us proceed to the consumer preferences and tests. Consumer preferences and tastes play a significant role in shaping demand in the economics. Simply put, it's about what people like and dislike and how that affects their purchasing decision. Consumer preferences and tastes refers to the subjective likes and dislikes of individuals and groups influencing their purchasing decisions. These preferences can be influenced by various factors such as cultural trends, societal norms, advertising, and personal experiences. So for instance, first, how do consumer preferences and taste affect demand? Okay, when consumer preferences change, it can significantly impact the demand for certain goods and services. For instance, if there's a growing preference for eco-friendly products, demand for sustainable goods may increase, shifting the demand curve to the right. Number 2, conversely, if a product falls out of favor, demand may decrease, shifting the demand curve to the left. Additionally, the rivalry between iPhone and Samsung is a prime example of how consumer preferences and tastes drive demand. iPhone loyalists, Apple's ecosystem, seamless integration, and focus on privacy and security appeal to loyal customers who value these aspects. Samsung enthusiasts, Samsung's customization options, advanced cameras features, and affordability attract users who prioritize these benefits. So let us now proceed to price expectation. When we say price expectation, it plays a significant role in shaping demand in economics. When consumers anticipate a future price increase, they tend to buy more of a product now to avoid paying higher prices later. This behavior is driven by the desire to avoid higher costs, fear of scarcity, and broader economic expectation. So another example is gasoline prices. So when consumers expect gasoline prices to rise, they often fill up their tanks, increasing current demand. So another example is PPE during COVID-19. During the pandemic, consumers stockpiled personal protective equipment or PPE like masks and gloves, anticipating future shortages and price increases. The next one is the population and demographic. When we say population and demographic factors significantly influence demand in economics, demographic changes such as shifts in age structure, population growth, and urbanization can impact the demand for various goods and services. So how demographic affect demand? Number 1, age structure. An aging population like Japan's increases demand for healthcare services, retirement homes, and pharmaceutical products. So number 2, population growth. A growing population can lead to increases demand for basic necessities like food, clothing, and housing. So another example happened in Sub-Saharan Africa's growing population. The region's growing population is expected to increase demand for food, energy, and infrastructure. So these demographic changes can create opportunities and challenge for businesses and policymakers, highlighting the importance of understanding population dynamics and economic planning. So let us now proceed to advertising and marketing. Advertising and marketing play a crucial role in shaping consumers' behavior and influencing demand. Effective campaigns can create awareness, build brand loyalty, and drive sales. So, how advertising and marketing influence demand? Number one, creating awareness. Creating awareness. Advertising informs consumers about new products, services, or futures, increasing consideration and driving demand. Number two, shaping preferences. Shaping preferences. Marketing campaigns can influence consumer attitudes and preferences, creating a perceived need or want for a product. Number three, building brand loyalty. Effective branding and consumer engagement can lead to repeat businesses and positive word of mouth. So, the example of this is Coca-Cola's Share a Coke campaign. Personalized bottles with names boosted sales and engagement. Number two is Nike's Just Do It campaign. Simple yet powerful messaging resonated globally, boosting brand recognition. So this example demonstrates how effective advertising and marketing can shape consumer behavior and drive demand for products and services. Let us now proceed to income distribution. Income distribution plays a significant role in shaping demand for various goods and services. When income is unevenly distributed, it can impact consumer spending patterns and market demand. So how income distribution affects demand? Number one, unequal distribution. Concentration of wealth among a small segment can lead to increased demand for luxury goods and services. Number two, limited purchasing power. Lower income households may struggle to afford basic necessities, reducing overall demand. Number three, middle class influence. A strong middle class can drive demand for consumer goods and services. So for instance, in US income inequality, growing income disparity has led to increased demand for luxury goods and service among high-income households. Another one is India's growing middle class. Rapidly economic growth has created a large middle class driving demand for consumer goods and services. And last but not the least, the Brazil's Bolsa Familia program, targeted cash transfers to low-income families, have increased demand for basic necessities like food and clothing. So these examples illustrate how income distribution can impact demand, highlighting the importance of understanding economic inequality in market analysis. So let us now proceed to complementary and substitute goods. So complementary and substitute goods are key concepts in understanding demand and dynamics. Complementary goods. Goods consumed together like coffee and creamer. So the effect of this is increase in price of one good, decrease demand for the others. So the next one is substitute goods. Goods that can replace each other like iPhone and Samsung. So the effect of this is increase in price of the one good, increases demand for the others. So for instance, coffee and creamer. If coffee prices rise, demand for creamer may fall. Number two, iPhone and Samsung. If phone prices increase, demand for Samsung may rise. Number three, Pepsi and Coca-Cola. If Pepsi prices drop, demand for Coke may decrease. So these examples show how prices of related goods influence demand, helping businesses make informed pricing and marketing decisions. Let us now proceed to the cultural and social factors. So when we say cultural and social factors, it play a significant role in shaping consumer behavior and demand. Cultural norms, social influences, and peer behavior can all impact what products or services people prefer and purchase. So how cultural and social factors influence demand? Number 1, cultural norms shape preferences for certain products or services like halal food in Muslim communities or kosher food in Jewish communities. Number 2, peer behavior. People often follow trends and behaviors of their social groups, driving demand for certain products or services. So for instance, selling pork in Muslim area is unlikely due to dietary restrictions. Number 2, selling alcohol in conservative communities may be challenging due to local values. So understanding these cultural and social factors help businesses tailor their marketing strategies and product offerings to meet local demands effectively. So here's we have two tables. So number 1, the table shows a demand schedule that lists the price per gallon and the corresponding quantity demanded in millions. As the price rises from 450 to 550, the quantity demanded falls from 800 to 420 million gallons, illustrating the inverse relationship between price and quantity demand typical of a demand curve. The next graph. In this graph, it illustrates the relationship between price and quantity demand for gasoline, showing an inverse negative relationship, what reflects the law of demand. This graph illustrates the relationship between price and quantity demand for gasoline, showing an inverse negative relationship that reflects the law of demand. As the price per gallon rises, orange bars, the quantity demanded, blue bars, decreases. Conversely, when the price falls, the quantity demanded increase. The graph plots these price-quantity pairs and connects them to form a demand curve or D, which slopes downward from left to right, visually demonstrating the higher prices lead to lower demand and lower prices lead to higher demand. So that's all. Thank you.